What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, y'all? I hope your summer went good. I hope your fall went good. But it is wintertime now. It's leaf cleanup season. And I hope you guys are staying busy, keeping your business above ground, because this is the slowest part of the season for me. Of course, the grass here go dormant in Charleston, South Carolina. It does go brown, so nobody's mowing. Some people overseed with perennial ryegrass and things of that nature, but not many people. So when it comes to lawn maintenance, hedge trimming, all those things slow down until, of course, February, March, until the grass starts to shift out of dormancy. But I just wanted to speak to you guys briefly about where I'm at with my business and, just ramble a little bit, basically, on my ride to go pick up my son from daycare. This year was a good year. It was a good year. I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of things last year, but of course, every year I'm trying to continue to excel with my business, put it on to the next level, so I can pretty much really grow the business, focus on growing the business in the near future. But my biggest thing this year was finding good employees. I hired about 10 employees this year, guys. That's a lot of employees for a 7-8 month time frame. So my first thing was, I was thinking maybe I was paying them too much. Everybody who's worked with me, they started out at $15 an hour, and that's in my market. Looking at some of what they pay the crew leaders for, like places like the greenery and things of that nature. The average price point is about, I think, 14, 13, all the way up to, of course, I believe $20 bucks maybe, if there's a crew leader. But I started everybody out at 15 because I wanted to find decent candidates. You get what you pay for at times. But if people don't want to work, they just don't want to work. And that's what I feel like I ran into the most this year. A lot of people who didn't want to work. I gave them the hours. They were getting about 30, 35 hours. First, I wasn't monitoring the hours as well. That's good. Until my wife kind of tapped me on my shoulder and was like, hey, when you're managing a business, you have to manage the hours, or else you cut into your profit. So she got me on my toes, helped me refocus. So I cut it down. I was like, okay, instead of giving these guys 40 hours or more, we're gonna do like 30 hours and, have decent little days. So we worked from basically 7 in the morning to like 3 o'clock, and I rotated the guys on different days, this, that, and the third. But it was interesting. On the day-to-day, I had I had 2 guys with me. 2 guys with me they last for about 2 months. Those 2 guys. One dropped off, and then the next month the other one dropped off. I don't know. A lot of the reasons why people just stop showing up, I cannot pinpoint that. I've got desperate to the point where I actually text the people who quit and just start no-showing. I actually wanted to know, like what was their reason for quitting. I paid them fair. I gave them lunch. I paid for lunch, and we don't work long days. You didn't work weekends. I did. I worked like Saturdays, Sundays. They never work weekends. I always work weekends. So I was trying to understand. And then when it came to the job duties, I didn't just leave it to where it was me on a zero turn all day. No, we rotate. I'm gonna mow 3 houses. You mow the next 3. I get on the weed eater, the edger, etc., blower, and we get it done like that. But I don't know. I feel like I was definitely fair across the board by trying to cross-train them as far as the duties that they can do. That way, when I'm not there, there's no one that's limited to what they can accomplish. That's kind of how I used to work at any place that I was, as far as Pizza Hut as a manager, Coca-Cola. Like every place I ever worked, I always tried to learn other things because I didn't want to be limited to just doing one thing. Some people are complacent though. They like just doing one thing, but I don't. That's not my motive. I don't want anybody to just do one thing because they're gonna get bored eventually, and I don't know. That's just not the way to go if I'm trying to grow a business. Everybody who come to my business, they need to be ready to grow, meaning they need to be open to learning new things, operating new equipment, etc., etc. I had some of the guys on the micro backhoe, dingoes. Like they used some equipment when they were working with me that they never used before, but it was easy to teach them, because I feel like everything we were doing, I kind of was pointing out, how to do it. And so for the most part, I would say these guys had some experience. Like they know how to work a weed eater. They know how to work, one guy, not many of them actually knew how to efficiently work the zero turn, to be honest. Only one guy, and he was pretty good. That was the last guy who was hanging out with me. I don't know why he dropped off. I could not figure it out. So I text these people, not all of them, but just a couple of them, just to kind of get some details. It's like, hey, I just wanted to know, for my me as a leader and as a manager, I want to continue to grow. So I want to know, is there anything that that you didn't like, that how my business ran, that you felt like it wasn't the right place for you, or whatever? Because to be honest, I felt like I kept it real with them too much. I feel like any other job wouldn't be as I don't know, they wouldn't be like me. They will not get you lunch. They will not, what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like I was being considerate, that these are people who are trying to support support their family and stuff. So of course $15 an hour is not much, but I always offered them more hours, more opportunities to make money. I even told them, hey, if you have people in your neighborhoods where you're at, I'll incentivize you if you find customers, so you can make incentives like that just by finding customers. But I try to do a lot to keep employees, and I can't pinpoint to this day why they dropped off, besides people just don't want to work. People just don't want to work. It don't matter how much you pay them. I paid the last two guys $20 an hour. They were experienced, so they say, but they wasn't completely experienced to the point where I had to slow down, Rob. They wasn't experienced to the point where I didn't have to oversee anything that they completed. I know my customers' properties, the customers that I have, they know the quality of my work, so they expect a specific quality. I'm not really making shortcuts. You can't miss a whole fence line. You can't miss around the trees, stuff like that. Like, they know that I'm gonna take care of the property thoroughly, because that's kind of how I grew my business, doing a good job, and word of mouth marketing and reviews, etc., etc. But I just couldn't figure out what happened with these employees this year. And I don't know, that's something I did, like, just throw in the towel and give up. I stopped looking for people because I just felt like I was running across all the wrong people that, they're hungry, but they're only hungry for that day or that week. It's plenty of the guys. Majority of the people that work with me, they work with me for about a week or sometimes a couple days, and they make about $800, $700. Man, you don't see them the next week. You do not see them the next week. Can't get in touch with them. So, like, man, I just help somebody get out of a hole where they're at, and they don't truly desire to do lawn care, landscaping. So, hey, to each his own. Lesson learned. But I kept running into the same type of people. So next year my game plan is to restructure my business to the point where I don't need a large crew. I don't want all the customers I have anymore. I really want to just consolidate, work on route density, and find more quality customers closer by my home. So what I may or may not be doing throughout this winter, I may get rid of some of my clientele. I have about 20 to 30 customers. It's about 20 to 30 minutes away. Nice little route, but for the time it takes me to get there, and do the accounts and stuff like that. I'm just sick and tired of actually driving out there. Average ticket price, of course, with a lot of these customers is $50 per yard, but I just still feel like it's not worth continuing to come out there. I'm really about to just refocus my business to be more profitable. And what I mean by that, I don't even care if I feel like I don't even care if I lose all of them, but I'm going to structure it to where my services are a bit more conclusive. I'm going to include landscaping, basically prices. Hedge trimming is going to be included with the mow. And I also want to get people on a weed controller fertilization plan. That's my game plan for next year. If I can't have a full service customer, I don't feel like those are my ideal customers, because they're not going to be as profitable as I need them to be to meet some of the goals that I have for my business. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't know if I'm going to do it on a monthly, because I don't want to move to a monthly payment plan. So, and another thing, in my market, we service Centipede Lawns, St. Augustine. Majority of these these properties, they're new development, new neighborhoods, and there's a lot of people that don't have irrigation, they don't fertilize, they literally just want the basic Joe to pull up, mow, make it look nice, and keep going. They're not really micro focused on the quality of their lawns, because I don't know, it's just I guess they don't value. They don't see. I don't know. I'm not gonna say what I can assume for how people feel about their lawns, but basically they're low maintenance lawns, and they don't need much attention if you're not doing anything to them as far as watering, mowing it frequently, and etc. So everybody's on a bi-weekly schedule. Being that they're on a bi-weekly schedule, I did the math and I did my numbers, of course. I did this at the beginning of the year as well, but compared to a lot of people that's in business, not people, but general business owners in the lawn care and the green industry, I need to shift. And what I mean by that, I'm gonna take all my bi-weeklies. I'm just gonna tell them straightforward, we're no longer doing bi-weekly services. We're actually on a weekly only basis. And my price is not going to actually drop significantly either, because at the same time I'm still performing the same amount of work, and also being that I'm thinking about revisiting how I'm presenting this to customers. Oh gosh, I keep yawning, man. Excuse me, guys. But being that I'm revising how I'm presenting my price points customers for different services that I offer, I don't know, it's gonna have to be structured different. I don't know if it'll be $100 per service or $75 per service, but it's definitely gonna go up, because I need to get them at a monthly price to where I can calculate what's gonna be made per year. But I'm not gonna ramble. I'm almost there to picking up my son, and I just wanted to talk about a little bit of how this year been going. And towards the end of the season, I had a guy drop off. The last guy I had with me, good dude, man. I don't know what the issue was, but he dropped off, and I had to finish out my regular route, which I had it stacked for 2 people. So I had to spread it out throughout the week, communicate with the customers, etc. And I just don't like the inconsistency of. I feel like I did it twice this season, because I was having issues with keeping solid employees. So I just don't like to shift my schedule all the time with customers. They know I'm going to be at their neighborhood, at their property on a specific day. I don't like moving that too much, just because the consistency of me coming each time. They don't have to guess or call me and say, hey, you're coming this week, or etc. But I had to communicate with the customers, let them know what was going on. And I try not to give them too much insight that I'm having struggle with finding employees, but it is a reality, man. Everybody's not cut out for the green industry. It can be tough, especially if you got a fair amount of accounts and they're not all in the same subdivisions, neighborhoods, etc., etc. So it can be a challenge trying to service all those properties, and that's kind of what I was running into here and there. And that's why I was running through so many employees, because it's like, man, I need somebody to help me knock out all these accounts. It's just not enough time in a day for me to do it myself. Being that it was 20 accounts I was trying to do, 20 or more. So that was that. For the most part, I knocked out some big projects this year too. I did a full lawn renovation. Well, not a full lawn, a backyard. Installed did a ton of mulch jobs. I keep mulch jobs on deck. I got some that I need to do now, but stay busy, man. Stay busy. Keep grinding. Keep grinding. Keep grinding. Trying not to come to a complete halt, because this was a different type of year. I don't feel COVID directly affecting me, my business, for the full year, but it affected it at the beginning, because if I recall correctly, around January, February, that's when I feel like the COVID was starting to be talked about a bit more in my area, at least. And then by March, I think, yeah, by March, April, it really was, already kind of over with or whatever. So that was weird, but I was like, hey, gotta roll with what's going on with the economy. They shut down a lot of stuff. They didn't shut down lawn care people. We were not considered, we were essential, guys. We were essential over here in the low country. So that was cool. We got to keep mowing and stuff like that. So, but it was a heck of a year, man. I'll probably make another video, and after I chalk down some details of, just, I don't know, some things about this year that I can kind of improve on, or things I'm going to be focused on for the next year, because that can be a big deal. It can make or break where I'm trying to go with the business. I had a buddy as well. I'm a part of a Facebook group with a bunch of other landscapers, and some people a lot of them use lawn care as either a part-time job or a stepping stone to get to what they actually want to do. Like if they're into hardscaping or irrigation, basically lawn care supports. It's pretty much an income supply to finance the other business that they kind of want to branch into. So that's one thing too. It's different industries to get into alongside the green industry that got to do with outdoor space. And not to say I'm running away from lawn care, because I got some momentum built to the point where I know that I can actually get this thing right. I just gotta revisit the drawing board. I did it at the beginning of this year. I didn't do it the last year before I got started. I kind of just was shooting from the hip. But this year, I'm really gonna sit down, and I got a few books that I'm reading. I got the Green Industry Pricing 3rd edition book. I'm going through that now, and I'm gonna try to get as much information as I need to know how to correctly draw everything out, map it out for next year. But I'm not gonna make this a lengthy video of just talking, rambling. I'll get you guys another one. Keep grinding, keep getting it. Be easy. Later.